going to... Hold on. Hey, can someone turn down the music volume? I can't even hear myself talking. Sorry, I live in a noisy area, so production decided to add background music to all my videos. Please don't forget to like and subscribe so I can fire the French production guy and hire someone more competent. Or even better, move to another place or country less noisy, like so many newly arrived immigrants seem to be doing in Canada nowadays. And who wrote this nonsensical script I'm reading? Viewers don't have time for this. I need to get to the point. Man, I should fire the Indian script writer too. Or is she Filipino? Never mind. Where was I? Oh yes. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about a love-hate relationship and my attempt at fixing this relationship. See, I love all my plants, truly. I don't mind all the hassle I endure to keep them nice and healthy. I don't even expect any fruits in return. But if you ask me which one I love the least, I will have to say my Carambola tree. Some of my viewers are probably jumping in their seat. I know, Carambola trees, also known as starfruit trees, are easy to grow and can produce tons of delicious fruits. Unless you happen to live like me in a cold, forsaken wasteland, where the tree has to be grown in a pot and stay indoors for 7 months every year. In which case, a starfruit tree can become a high-maintenance houseplant. Spider mites love this tree, and it can easily spread the mites to your other healthy plants, the reason being that it is structurally a short-trunk tree with a white foliage that takes up a lot of space. So in a confined space like my garage, trying to avoid any contact between a spider mite-infested Carambola tree and other plants is a challenge. During wintertime indoors, it has a tendency to lose its leaves. Since the leaves are small, the floor often looks messy around the tree. When the leaves are still on the tree, they often do not look great. Starfruit trees are very sensitive to the pH of the soil. If soil pH is above 7, they easily develop iron, magnesium, or manganese deficiencies. These deficiencies make the leaves look very sick, like completely white in case of an iron deficiency. My Carambola tree was grown from seed. It's 5 years old. It's a rather slow-growing tree. My 2-year-old jackfruit saplings have thicker trunks and are taller than the Carambola. Not only is it slow-growing, it easily suffers defoliation in summertime when it's too windy, or dieback when the garage floor is too cold in wintertime. Some scientists even picked the Carambola tree to study the impact of root temperatures on several growth factors. In short, optimal root temperatures are between 20 to 25 degrees Celsius and should not drop below 10 degrees Celsius. By the way, drop me a comment if you would like more in-depth reviews of scientific studies, cool therapy style of course. Structurally, my tree does not look aesthetically pleasing to me either. So, to mend our relationship this summer, I started with a light pruning of its dead wood before the more serious stuff. Sometimes it's difficult to know if a branch is entirely dead. I finished the job with nail clippers. There is always a bunch of small dead stuff on this tree, so it takes time to give it a clean look. I'm aiming for a broccoli type of cut. Talking about clean look, sorry I forgot to wash my hands before making this video. Anyway, they are about to get much dirtier. Let me finish this manicure and we'll move on to the pedicure. If you ever wondered what the root system of a starfruit tree looked like, stick around or jump ahead. Okay, almost done. I just have to untangle a few small branches. Wind is not necessarily bad for this tree. Light wind helps the tree strengthen its trunk and main branches. But if the wind is too strong, the tree can start dropping its leaves, as mentioned earlier. Repeated exposition to wind can also accentuate a bad structure. My tree had a lean that I found acceptable when it was younger. Now the lean is more pronounced. It doesn't look nice anymore, and it could be detrimental to the tree over the long run. I believe the tree does not need to be root pruned, but I'm going to root prune it anyway. I have 3 objectives I want to achieve. The first objective is to figure out what the root system of this tree looks like. The lack of information on the root system of Carambola trees is surprising. The second objective is to figure out the growth rate of the root system since I uppotted it more than a year ago. And my third objective is to correct the lean of the tree. Whether the tree has a taproot or not, I will be moving it to a wider and more shallow pot. We are now at the beginning of fall. I start by removing the mulch layer that helps maintain soil moisture during summertime. Now, as always, comes the hardest part, removing the pot. With a thin trunk and a big root ball, lifting the tree out of the pot is not an option. The risk of breakage of the root ball or the trunk is too high. Since I want to reuse the pot, the best option is to turn the tree upside down in the air and pull the pot away from the tree. Next, I sculpt the root ball to the desired dimensions for the new pot. Usually I do not root prune my trees just before the cold season. But again, this is a love-hate relationship. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking that I will not mind having more space in the garage for my other trees. So this is kind of an experiment to see how this tree will take a heavy root pruning without any adjustment to the foliage volume and just before the cold season. At this point, I would say the growth rate of the roots of this tree is slower than that of my citrus or soursop trees. The roots also appear to be not as fibrous. They are more woody, harder to cut through. It seems that this star fruit tree does have a denser root mass at the center, which could indicate that there was a taproot, and that the taproot has started to subside, while the root system is becoming more fibrous. This supports me in my decision to move the tree to a shallower pot. The whole tree is now much lighter. I can grab it by the trunk and lift it without fear of breakage. I place the tree in the pot with an angle to offset the lean of the trunk. I did loosen the soil around the root ball before backfilling. Now I level the soil around the trunk with a kitchen fork. After watering, the soil settles lower, enough for me to add a layer of rock dust to prevent fungus gnats from laying their eggs, as I will soon move the tree to the garage where we will spend the next 7 months. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for updates.